You know the saying, we're all about facts, not fear, and providing information to keep you and your loved ones safe. Usually I do that with it for some reason. Oh, look how cute. She's got a little bandana on. Every day she gets so cuter and cuter. Dr. Payal Kohli joins us live again to answer your questions about the coronavirus. So let's get right to your questions. Kimmy writes in saying, I keep seeing headlines about the virus taking down the young, otherwise healthy people. Is it getting more serious? And that's a really good question, actually, for the doc. What do you think, Doc? I call her Doc.
Yeah, she's our friend.
Yeah, great question, Kimmy. By the way, hi, Jeff.
How's it going? Nice to see you.
Great question. Great question, Kimmy. So no, the virus is not changing. Nothing is getting more serious. But initially, we really wanted to emphasize that this has got the highest mortality in people who are elderly. But more recently, we also want the young people to know that that doesn't mean that they're immune. And that's the reason you're seeing a lot of these guidelines come out recently about the young people. But nothing has really changed in how the virus is behaving. We just want the young people to know that there are young people that are having complications as well. Still, the old people remain the highest risk of dying from this virus, but the young people need to take it seriously too.
All right, and Sabrina asks, mosquitoes are soon to be out. Can you contract COVID-19 from a mosquito bite?
Such a good question.
Yeah, so no, the answer is you can't, and different viruses transmit differently. So this is not like the Zika virus, which transmits through mosquitoes, if you remember. This is mainly respiratory droplets. So mosquitoes is one less thing we have to worry about with this virus.
Good to know.
That's really good. Do you know what mosquito is in Italian? Paparazzi. You know that? You're welcome. Our next question comes from Abir. He says, thank you for your continuous info regarding the coronavirus. My son came back from college in Washington and he's healthy, no symptoms, but could he be carrying the virus? This affects a lot of parents right now.
Yeah, he certainly could be carrying the virus. In fact, we're seeing that the majority of people who are not having symptoms and carriers and spreading it are the young people. In China, in fact, in the first few weeks of the epidemic, up to 86% of infections were spread by people who didn't know that they had infections. So if you really want to be safe, it's probably a good idea to keep your son under quarantine for 14 days, because that's about how long it takes, for you to stop being infectious from the virus. But certainly young people can have it without having symptoms. So it's important to assume that if they may have been exposed, that they should be isolated from others.
Let's try to get this last one. And Stephanie has a question about asthma. She writes, is there any information yet about whether or not asthma medications can worsen the virus if someone is showing viral symptoms?
Yeah, so asthma is a great question because we know that people who have asthma are higher risk of having complications from the virus, but yet the asthma medications kind of keep the asthma at bay. So my best advice for you, Stephanie, would be to, before you change any medications or do anything differently, is to talk to your doctor, because certain asthma medications will protect you from developing asthma, which is bad if you get the virus, but certain asthma medications could certainly increase your tendency or predisposition to catch the virus as well. So chat with your doctor about it, because asthma is one of those tricky ones where the medicines protect us, but then again, they could put us at harm if we do end up catching the virus.
Thank you, Dr. Kohli. I'm getting someone from Tony Manfredi on Facebook. Why do these states have so many cases?
Yeah, so one interesting thing about this virus, you guys, is that it doesn't spread in a uniform fashion. So it's not like, it just comes in and it just starts spreading like a wave across the country. Think of it as tiny little seeds that are planted all across the country, and those become the hotspots. So basically what it spreads in is what's called epicenters. So little areas where the spread is very, very fast, and those drive the majority of cases. So examples in the United States are New York City, Washington State. Now we're seeing Michigan, Louisiana after Mardi Gras. So basically what happens is that you have the seed planted, and then some sort of an event, whether it's people being in close proximity with each other or touching a lot of surfaces like people do on New York subways, that leads to super spreading of the virus.
Okay.
Whereas other parts of the country we see don't have as many cases.
Okay. Before we go, we do want to leave you all with some good news. The doctor's silver lining. Make a noise.
I like that.
Yes.
A noise?
Yeah, like woo.
Ding.
Yeah.
Yep. Now
it's a good one today. You guys ready?
It is a good one. Yeah, it's positive numbers out of China. Tell us a little bit more.
So Hubei province, which has Wuhan was where this virus originated, if you recall, in December, has finally issued that they're going to lift the lockdown because their cases have gone to almost zero, their new cases. So what this tells me, I'm so excited about this, because what it tells me is that there is going to be a life back to normal. You know, it's like we're all in a tunnel, and they're the first ones to come out of the tunnel, and we're still in our tunnel, but pretty soon we'll be out too. So it gives me hope that things are going to come back to normal for us too in some time.
Dr. Kohli, you are the light at the end of our tunnel here at DBL. Do you agree?
I like that.
I like that. Ding! Thank you so much, Dr. Kohli. She returns next week. Please, if you have a question about coronavirus you want answered by the doctor, write us in social media. You can also email info@dailyblastlive.com. And if you do want more information about the coronavirus, go to cdc.gov or the World Health Organization's website. And like we always say, no panic, just prevention and precautions like an Italian. Am I right?
That's a you thing, not a we thing.
Oh, just a me thing? Okay, got it. We'll be right back. Thanks, Doc.
Thanks, Doc. Good to see you.